Hi friends, having understood that we are a form of energy vibrating at a certain frequency, we also understood what are energy, vibration and frequency and their effects on us from the previous videos. We will now try to comprehend their presence in temples and how our ancient ancestors made the temples into a powerhouse of energy and gateways to connect to the universe. India is called a spiritual country owing to the presence of high energy centers in its soil. No other country in the world has so many high energy centers. At every high energy center in India, a temple is constructed for the benefit of the people. Beginning from Himalayas in the north to Rameswaram in the south, there are several temples that benefit the mankind alike. Temples are basically energy centers which help our bodies to recharge with energy. The concept of temples is created in such a way that it benefits all those who enter its premises, irrespective of their belief or faith or trust in God. It is a system where all the energies required by our bodies are made available in abundance. Spending some time in the temples allows our bodies to recharge and energize by themselves automatically. The energies in the temples neutralize and get rid of negative energies that we may be carrying from time to time that may be causing ill effects to us. However, our trust is the main ingredient that helps us to connect to the universe. By going to a temple, people at least get their bodies recharged. The foremost thing that is considered while constructing a temple is the site. Our ancient ancestors took great care in selecting the site for the construction of temple. We need to understand why selection of site is so important for constructing a temple. People come to a temple with a strong belief that they would find solution to their problems. So, it is very important that they find solution to their problems. A temple should be constructed at a place where energy is available in abundance and is free from geopathic stress. Geopathic stress is the earth's vibration which travels up through the layers of earth and is distorted by weak electromagnetic fields created by underground flowing water, fault lines, certain mineral concentrations like coal, oil and iron and underground cavities. The energies that are available in and around the temples or places of worship have great spiritual as well as historical significance. For example, the Sila Toranam or the great geological arch in Tirumala is believed to be a stargate. The entry point for a wormhole is called a stargate. A wormhole is a shortcut to another planet or universe. According to mythology, Lord Venkateswara appeared through this arch and set his first step at this place. The second step was placed at Srivari Padalu and the third step at the place where the present idol is being worshipped. Several people observed that their electronic equipment function erratically when they are near the arch. This signifies that there is some kind of energy at this place. Similar is the place Srivari Padalu where presence of energy is observed. As if to protect them, the authorities fixed a plastic container over Srivari Padalu and prevented the visitors from touching them. It is observed that some kind of vapor is formed on the inside walls of the plastic container, suggesting that some kind of energy is prevalent there. Both these places are about a kilometer away from the main Venkateswara Swami temple at Tirumala. Studies by geologists revealed that the rocks of the geological arch are found to be 2500 million years old and the formation of the arch occurred naturally around 1500 million years back. There are several places of worship across India that attracts lakhs of visitors every day. This significantly emphasizes that popular shrines are built only at high energy locations. How our ancient ancestors used to identify such high energy locations is still a big mystery. Popular temples like Venkateswara Swami Temple at Tirumala, Kalahastiswara Swami Temple at Kalahasti, Kanakadurgamma Temple at Vijayawada, Mallikarjuna Swami Temple at Srisailam, Sai Baba Temple at Shirdi, Viswanatha Swami Temple at Kasi, Kedarnath Temple at Kedarnath, Nataraja Swami Temple at Chidambaram, Meenakshi Temple at Madurai, Kamakshi Temple at Kanjivaram, Ramanatha Swami Temple at Rameswaram are only a few among several other temples that are abundant in cosmic energy and are great crowd pullers. Further, our ancient ancestors were also able to construct popular Shiva temples from north to south that are aligned in a geographic straight line around 79 degrees east longitude. This means that a strong energy channel runs along the longitude. This was identified by our ancient ancestors at a time when there are no sophisticated equipments. The temples that are located on the same longitude are Kedarnath Temple at Kedarnath, Kaleshwara Muktishwara Swami Temple at Kaleshwaram, Srikalahastiswara Temple at Srikalahasti, Ekambareswara Temple at Kanjivaram, Jambukeswara Temple at Tiruvannaikkaval, Annamalayar Temple at Tiruvannamalai, Nataraja Swami Temple at Chidambaram, and Ramanatha Swami Temple at Rameswaram. The construction process of a temple is very unique. The architecture is very different and has all the ingredients to attract cosmic energy and retain it in abundance. The inner sanctum or Garbhagruha will not have any windows or outlets and no electricity is used to illuminate the premises. While setting up the idol of the presiding deity in the inner sanctum, certain traditional procedures are followed. A yantra, which is a geometric design drawn on a copper plate, is installed either under or just in front of the main idol to attract cosmic energy in abundance. If you observe keenly, you will notice in some temples that a mirror is placed at an angle of 45 degrees on the upper side of the wall just opposite to the entrance of the inner sanctum, and no devotee is allowed to stand directly in front of the entrance. This is deliberately done to reflect the energy onto the devotees standing on either side of the entrance. We can also observe that the bell is made of brass and usually has a wooden tongue to strike and ring the bell. Further, we can observe that iron or steel is not at all used in temples. Moreover, you will find that the Utsav Murtis are made of Panchaloha, an alloy of 5 metals. Metals like gold, silver, Panchaloha, brass and copper are the only metals permitted to be used in temples. Temple architecture is very different from that of other dwelling places. Usually, the main entrance is called Vimana or Galigopuram and resembles a pyramid-like structure. The top of Garbhagruha or womb chamber or inner sanctum resemble a dome-like structure. This geometrical shape is said to be most advantageous to receive energy. Further, a wooden post covered by brass plates called as Vajastambam is erected in between the main mandap and Galigopuram or Vimana and opposite to the main idol in the inner sanctum. Actually, this wooden post acts like an antenna, receiving and holding energy so that any person entering the area would automatically receive energy. The sound waves echoing in the inner sanctum as the priest chants the incantations or mantras reaches the pinnacle of the structure, which is in line with the Dvajastambam and forms an umbrella of sound energy over the temple. This energy soothes the brain waves and takes the person into an alpha state of mind. In a temple, including cosmic energy, all other energies like solar, earth, water, fire, wind and sound are made available in abundance. The temple reverberates with the constant chanting of incantations or mantras recited by the priests in the inner sanctum in a rhythmic pattern, and the ringing of the bell produces sound energy. You have to enter a temple barefoot, and hence you would receive the earth energy. Lighting of oil lamps and performing of homams and yagnas produce fire energy. Water energy is availed in the form of holy water given by the priest. You will also find a water body either on the side or in front of the temple, which is called Koneru or holy water tank. People will dip in this water to cleanse themselves before entering the temple. Thus, all the energies are made available in temples, making them powerhouses of energy and become a gateway to connect to the universe. The more time you spend at a temple, the more you benefit. Above all this, idol worship and trust in God is strongly etched into our brains from our childhood, so that we trust God is present in the places of worship. We should understand that it is alright even if God is not there, but our trust and belief is what matters actually. You talk to God on a personal level and appeal to Him with conviction, and that God will definitely come to your rescue. It is the law of attraction that is already put in place in temples by our ancient ancestors. The law of attraction is a universal law and works for everybody. You place your belief or trust in anything or person, including your own self, the result will be the same. However, our ancient ancestors went a step ahead and coupled the law of attraction with all kinds of positive energies and made the temples into gateways to connect to the universe. If you could sit in a temple silently for over an hour or so, you will begin to feel the subtle vibrations, and you will begin devising ways to open the gateway to connect to the universe. For this to happen, trust in the deity is a must. Our brain acts as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. Once we are connected to the universe, all knowledge flows into us, even if we are illiterates. When aligned with the cosmic frequencies, it garners the power to cross over to several unseen or inexperienced dimensions of the universe and brings in new experiences. Our ancient ancestors are aware of this power of the brain and had utilized it to a great extent to uncover inspiring and at the same time puzzling discoveries in the past, which till date have remained puzzling to the greatest of researchers across the globe. The potential of the brain is so high that, if utilized properly, can transcend galaxies in a split second. Take for example the great Indian mathematician C.P. Ramanujan, who never had any formal education but became world-renowned personality in mathematics. He used to solve complex mathematical equations at the snap of a finger. Ramanujan, the man who knew infinity, was born in a poor Brahmin family in South India in the year 1888. He became a very famous mathematician. He could not study much, but still his genius in mathematics was unique. Many well-educated mathematicians have earned a name because of their training and guidance from others for a number of years. But Ramanujan was not even a matriculate and had no training or guidance from anyone. The genius and capabilities of Ramanujan were such that they could not be due to mental powers, because the intellect moves very slowly. Thinking takes time, but Ramanujan didn't take any time in responding to questions. No sooner was the problem written down on the blackboard or put to him verbally than Ramanujan began to reply, without any time gap for thinking. It was very difficult for great mathematician to understand how it happened. A problem which would take about 6 hours for an eminent mathematician to solve, Ramanujan solved instantaneously and unerringly. It proved that Ramanujan was not replying through the medium of the brain. He was not very learned. He had actually failed in matriculation. There was no other sign of intellectual ability, but in connection with mathematics, he was superhuman. Something happens that was beyond the perception of human brain. It is said that whenever he began to look into any mathematical problem, something begins to happen in the middle space between his two eyebrows. Both his eyeballs will turn upwards, centering on that middle space. In yoga, this space is described as the third eye. It is called the third eye because if that eye becomes activated, it is possible to get connected to the universe. Between the two eyebrows, where there is a small aperture which in some persons opens, as in the case of Ramanujan, his eyes rose to his third eye while solving a problem. This phenomena could not be understood by anybody in those times. It took years for great mathematicians in the world to understand his works. He did many theorems and said they were given to him by Namagiri, his family deity. He had initially refused to travel outside India, but later agreed when his mother received permission from their family deity Namagiri for him to go to England in a dream. While on his deathbed in 1920, Ramanujan wrote a letter to his mentor, English mathematician J.H. Hardy, outlining several new mathematical functions never before heard of. In his own words, quote unquote, "While asleep, I had an unusual experience. There was a red screen formed by flowing blood, as it were. I was observing it. Suddenly, a hand began to write on the screen. I became all attention. That hand wrote a number of elliptic integrals. They stuck to my mind. As soon as I woke up, I committed them to writing. In the last 90 years, nobody understood what this theorem was, but they knew it was something tremendous. Only in 2010 did they find out that this theorem describes various behaviors of black holes. 90 years ago, no one was talking about black holes. The term did not even exist, but Ramanujan made a mathematical impression for it sitting on his deathbed, and he said, 'My Devi gave it to me.' When Ramanujan said Devi gave it to me, for him Devi is the gateway to connect to the universe. When you connect to the universe, miracles will happen. Results could be produced at astonishing speeds. This is beyond the perception of human brain. Here again, all the three components, energy, vibration and frequency, are present. In Ramanujan's case, he was able to access the universe by lowering his vibration and tuning in to the required frequency. This could be possible for him because by birth he may have been blessed with the presence of high amounts of cosmic energy in his body. I am Venkat Badeti. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please leave your comments in the comment section below.